Zero-calorie foods. They're all the rage. Can you really eat as much as you want, guilt-free?
It's the opposite of what you want. You're gonna crave lots more things.
We break it all down. Plus, Leah Remini.
You're gonna make me cry.
What you haven't heard about the Scientology scandal.
If Tom Cruise watches this interview, what would you say to him?
Coming up next.
And I want to know, are you scared?
For my life?
We'll save lives today.
You guys ready to get healthy?
Today's show is important because we've got the truth about zero-calorie foods. I know you're excited about this, but I'll tell you, zero-calorie foods, we're gonna break it down for you. And for you and your information that you need for your family, it's all here today. Then we got Leah Remini. She shook up Hollywood when she left Scientology. And now she's sharing how she survived this scandal. And the lovely Nigella Lawson is here to show us what she eats to make her feel good. But let's start with zero-calorie foods. They're a dieter's dream, aren't they? You can have your cake and eat it too. They promise to curb your cravings and cure your sweet tooth without gaining weight. But what's the truth behind zero-calorie foods? Are they living up to their promise? Or are they causing more harm than good? I asked NBC News correspondent and a member of my core team, Jenna Wolf, to investigate.
Zero-calorie foods. It's now a movement. Once upon a time, diet soda was the only zero-calorie food. Today, the menu is endless. So my question, who's eating all this stuff and why?
I struggled with my weight growing up as a kid. Mom would give me zero-calorie Jell-O. Now, I give it to my kid.
These dressings taste wonderful because they're 0 calories. I love it.
I like my zero-calorie snacks because I can eat things I like without feeling guilty, like this zero-calorie strawberry preserve.
I'm standing here with my no sugar, no calories, no fat products that I love. Everything from the coffee creamers to the fruit spreads to the peanut butters to the dressings to the pancake syrups. It goes on and on.
Michelle, what does zero-calorie mean to you?
0 calories means I could have as much as I want.
I feel like I'm getting something for nothing. You've done the whole day totally guilt-free 0 calorie.
What would you say far and away is the greatest zero-calorie food on the market?
Whipped cream. It satisfies me, and there's no calories. I eat the whole thing.
Did you say you eat the whole thing of whipped cream?
I do. Go.
This is gonna make me feel good.
You're gonna feel
3,
so good.
2, 1,
go.
This doesn't make you feel bloated in any way?
Doesn't make me feel bloated at all.
Some of it is an acquired taste, and some of it is really, really delicious.
I think the whipped cream turned bad.
It's brand new. That's what it is.
That's your,
I told you, it's
that's your
disgusting.
Have you ever stopped to look what's inside it, the ingredients?
Acetylfoamy.
Carrageenan?
What is that? What's carrageenan?
Carrageenan, I don't know.
Carcinogen?
A stabilizer.
Oh yeah, and what's a stabilizer?
I don't know.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of things I've never heard of before.
It's time to get educated. I'm gonna grab some of these. You okay if I take a couple of these? And I'm gonna take these for a little further investigation. Is that okay with you?
Okay.
All right. Here's the deal. Forget spelling. I can't even pronounce most of the foods we just read. But I do want to get the skinny on what's what. So I'm going to take this bag of zero-calorie foods to the Culinary Institute of America to find out what the heck is in this stuff.
Jenna and Tiffany are here. So Tiffany, help me understand. What is the allure of these zero-calorie foods for you?
The allure for me is that I am scoring on the whole decadent lottery, where I feel like I'm getting something for nothing and not really having to pay for it at the end of the day.
Have they worked for you? Have you lost weight with them?
So here's a tricky thing. I haven't quite lost weight with it, but on the flip side, I haven't really gained weight either.
Well, if you're calling me a tie, you're okay with that.
I thought so, but I do want to lose weight. Right?
All right.
Right.
You're a fitness expert. You're world famous for this. What do you think about this zero-calorie fad?
Look, do I understand the appeal? Of course. It's 0 calorie, it's guilt-free. These are amazing words, right? These are buzzwords that you love. But there's no such thing as cheating the system. The system always has been and always will be move more, eat less, right? But there's thousands of these fancy diets that are trying to get us away from all that. Right. Mentally, she thinks she's doing an amazing job. But there's no sustainability. You can't do this forever. You realize that. You're breaking even. You say you want to lose weight. Right. We got to figure that out.
Got to figure it out.
Well, before we pick on you, let's see what the audience thinks. We did a little survey before the show, and we asked folks, how many of you have 0-calorie foods at home? Very honest people in this audience responded. 74% said yes. 3/4, 3 out of every 4 people say yes. But the question is, what are you actually eating? How can something truly have 0 calories? Jenna, come over here. Let's find out. We made a little science lab over here.
Okay.
We brought someone who's really good at this.
I feel like we're so close.
Yes, we are. We are close.
So
we are
intimate.
close.
I love this.
Ted Risson is here. Come on over. Take a stand over here. He's a food scientist from the Culinary Institute of America. He's going to break it all down. And this, my friends, is an anatomy of a 0-calorie food. These are foods that claim to be 0 calories, but they can actually be, by the way, 0 to 5 calories. I hope you all know that. The government allows, the FDA says you can have up to 5, but we still round it down to 0. So what is it that binds these foods together? Start us off in chemistry lab here.
Yeah, so when you think of any kind of food product, it has a texture to it. So in a 0-calorie food, which is primarily water, you want something there to give it mouthfeel, you want to give it richness. A salad dressing should cling. So there's a range of ingredients. Here we have xanthan gum, which is a sugar produced by bacteria. And we have cellulose fiber here, which is a type of cellulose, which is a fiber found in any vegetable or fruit material.
It's the bones of a plant, so to speak.
Ultimately, yes, cellulose are what allows trees to grow to the sky. And it's fiber, we eat fiber all the time. So these types of family of ingredients, texturizers, provide that body, whether it's richness, unctuousness, even cling to you dip your fruit into your chocolate dip, all of that. So we have to take it and give it body.
You do see the irony in dipping fruit and vegetables into chocolate, right?
Yes,
I just want to make sure.
But I get these. Now, you pointed out, Bob, that these products, again, they come from natural sources, but we use them when we drill for oil. Is that right?
Some of these ingredients are used for industrial purposes, absolutely.
Okay, so it's a thought. Jenna?
My question is, what's giving these foods the taste, the specific taste that they have?
Well, we have a range of ingredients here, and you'll see it on any ingredient panel. So you have tomato powder or defatted cocoa powder. And they are coming from the original materials.
Is this tasteable? Can I taste this?
Absolutely, they're delicious.
Nothing bad's going to happen?
Well, they're poisonous.
I let him go first.
That's right.
In that case, have a sip.
That's right. Now, it tastes like cocoa, and this tomato tastes like tomato.
Yeah, so if we think
Again,
about...
I took too much. Go on, sorry.
It's very sort of savory.
Yes, it is.
So these ingredients are coming from the raw materials. So tomato powder is coming from tomato. Cocoa powder is coming from the standard process in which we make chocolate. Both of these ingredients are concentrated. We've removed the water and the fats from all of these ingredients. So they're very, very pungent.
So let me get to the area where I have concerns. These are artificial sweeteners, sucralose and aspartame. What's the game here?
Well, in all these types of products, we expect sweetness. In the traditional culinary approaches to these types of dressings and sauces, sweetness is one of the foundational tastes. Sugar is what we would use. However, every time you have sugar, calories come along with that. So in this case, high-intensity sweeteners have been created that give us the perception of the taste of sweetness without any of the caloric baggage.
So the question is, how do we go from these compounds to the foods so many of you love, which look like this? Does it look familiar?
See, look at that.
Tiffany? Yes, looks familiar.
Tiffany's like, sure, I had that for lunch, and breakfast, dinner on Thursday, and then 2 breakfasts.
So how do we make these beautiful dishes from these compounds?
Well,
you mix them together?
Ultimately, it's every recipe starts with constituent ingredients. So we would blend these ingredients, we would ultimately add them to water, we would heat them, and then package them, and they end up either in your pantry or in your refrigerator.
Again, stripped of the nutrients in the whole real foods,
by
because they're
definition,
concentrated.
By definition, they are 0 calories. So if I was to step back and say, do I want nutritional value? If I'm looking at a food for its nutritional value, and if I saw a bright sign that said 0 calories, that's a good indicator that there isn't very much nutritional value to these foods. Ultimately, I see them as water, but if we step back at it, what I think these products do is allow us to excite ourselves about our food. So if we need to get excited about a salad and we have some flavor there and we have some sweetness and we have some savoriness and we have some texture, and if that helps us eat a whole bunch of salad, I think that's really good. But we shouldn't be necessarily just drinking a whole bottle of this type of dressing, expecting it to be nutritionally dense.
Thank you very, very much. Up next, the Oz-approved zero-calorie foods. Be right back.
Next, can your favorite foods truly have 0 calories? We're finding out what's making them taste so sweet. Are they really sugar without guilt, or just playing tricks on your brain? Plus, a food that's really a 0-calorie hero. Next. The 5-second rule. Is it ever okay to eat food that's fallen on the floor? Plus, Christy Brinkley's secrets and shortcuts to looking great. All new Oz. That's coming up tomorrow.
I'm back with Jenna Wilker. We're talking about 0-calorie foods. And my real health concern are the added artificial sweeteners. That's actually what makes the 0-calorie fudge bars and whipped cream taste sweet. Now, they promise the benefits of sugar without the guilt, but they are actually playing tricks on your brain, and that's how you might end up packing on the pounds. Let me show you what I mean. It's a great animation. When you have 0 calories, right, and you think you're getting something with nothing is in terms of guilt,
right,
you're actually tricking yourself, because look inside your brain. When you eat something that's truly sweet, a bagel, donut, chocolate, sugar goes into your body, it generates a lot of blood sugar, and your brain says, oh, I'm so happy, I'm shutting myself off, I'm not gonna eat anymore. But when you take 0-calorie foods with artificial sugars in them, that goes in now, there's a blockade there. Your brain thinks you got these, but you're not actually getting the sugar. So this unlocks cravings deep in your mind. So you want more and more sugar. You're gonna crave lots more things. It reminds you about what you didn't get. It's the opposite of what you want. You wanna curb your cravings, not stimulate them. And that's not the only concern with these 0-calorie foods. The other problem is, for a lot of folks, they irritate your intestines. So guess what you get? Bloating. And irritation.
Every woman here knows everything about that. I didn't know that guys experience the same thing.
Even guys have intestines.
Show of hands, how many people have eaten your sugar-free chocolate pudding? I know you all have the bloating. You feel it, right?
Yeah.
They don't want to admit it, they do.
No, they're saying yes, Eve. They're acknowledging. Come on over.
Okay.
So, Tiffany, got a big question for you. Let's see.
Sure.
Let's talk a little bit about what you've learned today.
Okay.
As you see all this, what's it like to see all those artificial products being put together to make that savory food that you so enjoy?
Right. A lot of it was billed as guilt-free. And in this segment, I feel like knowledge truly is power, and it's just a trade-off of guilt. Once I know that all those chemicals are going in, I don't want to feed that to my kids and to my family.
So I've got a trade-off for you. I'm not against 0-calorie foods per se. I want you to go in there knowing that it's not quite as good as it sounds.
Right.
But we actually have a zero hero. A zero hero.
Zero hero food.
It's not made in a lab. Jenna,
Okay,
what is this?
so I really like this.
Okay.
There's a food out there called shirataki noodles. It's made from a Japanese root plant. Probably not growing outside your house, but you could check, maybe it is. High in soluble fiber. It's been shown to help stabilize blood sugar levels, which helps prevent cravings. There's only 10 calories. You can use it interchangeably as pasta. You can put sauce on it. These are actually good for you, right, Dr. Oz? This is just good, healthy. These are just noodles based
soluble
Japanese
fiber,
root plant.
all the things you want to have in your body. And again,
you can eat this and serve this to your kids.
Yeah.
Really?
And you'll be very happy about this.
Really?
There's a little present for you.
Okay.
But you know what? If you want to take it home,
this
take the actual package.
in your
inside.
car, just like this.
Thanks for telling your story.
Don't worry about
It won't
bombs.
spill.
Thank you so
Jenna,
much.
stick it around. We'll be right back.
Coming up next, actress Leah Remini speaks out. Why she quit Scientology after 30 years and almost lost everything doing so. What she reveals about Scientology and surviving the Hollywood backlash.
Are you scared?
For my life?
Coming up.
Leah Remini made us all laugh out loud during her 9 seasons on the hilarious show King of Queens, a personal favorite. Today she's here to share a much more serious story about leaving Scientology and how she is now coping with a big health challenge.
Actress Leah Remini is famous for her wise-talking wit and pull-no-punches delivery. From an early age, she loved making people laugh, which helped offset tension in her parents' troubled marriage. They divorced, and Leah's mother turned to Scientology, soon raising her young daughters in the controversial New Age faith. At 13, Leah's family moved to Los Angeles, where acting and Scientology would dominate her life. As Leah's career began to take off, so did her rise through the levels of Scientology. Then, in 1998, Leah landed the role of Carrie Heffernan on the hit sitcom The King of Queens, becoming a certified star, joining the ranks of Scientology's most famous followers, John Travolta, Kirstie Alley, and Tom Cruise. But Leah's outspoken criticism of the church, as well as her behavior at Cruise's 2006 wedding to Katie Holmes, provoked backlash from the Scientology leaders, leading Leah to question her lifelong faith and eventually leave the church in 2013. Today, Leah shares the life lessons and health struggles she's navigating in her new life chapter.
Leah Remini, come on out.
How are you?
We get our guests in shape with that walk.
I mean, really? Hi, everybody.
Most are out of breath by the time I get here. It's like a stress test.
Yeah. Yes. That was great. And it's good because I had like a knish, I had a frankfurter, I had 4 slices of pizza, I had a cannoli. So that was great because I lost
This
something.
morning.
I lost something from that walk. Hi.
How are you?
Good.
I know this is a big time in your life.
Yes.
This book is fascinating to me. And it's called Troublemaker, Surviving Hollywood and Scientology. But I'm stuck on this word troublemaker. It's an interesting way to title a book, but also yourself.
Well, because I've always felt that I was, but in a good way. Like I was a rebel as a child. I was always questioning my mother, like children do, but I really wanted to understand things. I was always like somebody who was always asking questions. You know, it was annoying, and I still am. But I don't mind the word too much, and I feel like people who want to affect some kind of change are considered troublemakers.
Let's talk about Scientology.
Yeah.
Because you brought it up several ways in different contexts. It is an interesting process to be a Scientologist because it influences you in many different ways. And in particular, it influences how you interpret your own health.
Correct.
So explain to everybody, if you can, what a Scientologist thinks about what they should do for their physical health and also for their mental health.
Well, mental health is strictly Scientology. I wasn't allowed to do other things. It would be considered mixing practices, or reading other books. Self-help books would be considered mixing practices. Physically, you are raised thinking that if you are sick, if you have a cold, yes, see a doctor, but usually it's dealt with vitamins, preferred to be dealt with vitamins. Once you're better, you are seen by somebody there who basically wants to know why you're sick. My experience has been that it is your fault. That you
it's
are
your fault?
Well, the theory is that you're connected to someone or something that is suppressing you, that's keeping you down, and therefore you're sick. But the other level to that is that because you are guilty of some transgression, you're not able to push that suppression away from you, and therefore you're going effect of that suppression. You know what I'm saying? So for that you are responsible.
Let's talk about you personally for a second. Scientology, you argue in the book, actually left you with some health issues. Mm-hmm. I'd love if you could walk me through how you felt that you suffered while you were a Scientologist and what you're doing now to try to get past that.
Well, again, as a group, we're told and believe that we're changing the world single-handedly, just our group. And I think it creates a monster. And every time I met someone, I secretly thought I had the answer to their ills. And I was never really quite open with people. I mean, it wouldn't matter if you were a doctor or a psychologist. I secretly thought that I knew more than you. My friendships with people who weren't Scientologists, I wasn't revealing of what was going on in my real life, because what was required of me was to, bless you, was to always
represent a person that had it all together at all times to represent your church. So I felt that I just dissociated myself from real feelings, real emotions, real relationships, and real forgiveness. I felt I was bigoted of other people's religions. I felt that's what I learned, because we were saying we are the elite group of the planet and the only ones doing anything about the ills of mankind.
Do you think you were a good Scientologist?
Well, I was good enough to represent my church, right? My church very often asked me to represent them in the press, and certainly approved to be in Tom Cruise's camp, which, you know, I did see as an honor, I was contributing a lot of money to my church. I was spending a lot of time with my church. I was volunteering. I was counseling other Scientologists. So, yes, in one way, I was a great Scientologist and very by-the-book Scientologist. I'm about policy. Like, you know, we have these policies, right? Hundreds of thousands. I could quote policy, you know, and demand that of other people. And I was, you know, a hard ass. And that hasn't changed. I am a hard ass, but I am a soft hard ass.
There's a tremendous affinity that I feel that you have for Scientology. It comes through in the book. You obviously were raised in the church. And for so many folks who were raised in one religion and they have problems with it. I mean, sometimes we almost have animosity towards the religion we're raised in because so much of it dominated our lives.
Right.
Is your problem with the leadership of Scientology or the people running it, or is it Scientology itself?
Well, you're not allowed to question anything about the faith. So you're asking me, is it about the leadership? No, it's about people not feeling safe to question their faith and question things that the organization is doing to them, to their family, and to other people, and especially people who left.
Do you think Scientology is a religion or is it a cult?
Per the definition of what a cult is, you know, having its own language, setting up the mindset that it's you against the world, and a group that speaks, you know, it's literally its own dictionaries. These are things separating family members and loyalty to a family, but rather to a church, are the ingredients of a cult.
When you think about what you're doing now,
you're gonna make me cry, and I look up pretty, I think, right now, and then what's gonna happen is they'll make me cry.
Well, I don't want you to cry, but I treasure having you here. And I want to know, are you scared?
For my life?
Period.
No, I'm not, because I am a fighter. And thank you. You're so sweet. And the support that we've all received has been amazing. Damn you, Dr. Oz. So no, I'm not afraid. I mean, our life is full. We have, like I said, we have so much support from around the world. We accept it with grace. I mean, we really do. And we're honored. I'm honored to be at this time of my life. I'm very happy. I mean, although I don't seem like it because you're making me cry because you're being sweet.
Oh, gosh.
You should have a tissue, though. I mean, you should have a tissue, a handkerchief.
Here, just use this.
No, I'm not gonna get me.
All right, I'll get you a tissue. When we come back, Leah's strong message to Tom Cruise, everyone. Plus, she's gonna talk about another struggle in her life, how she gained and lost 80 pounds. That's next.
Later, she's one of the sauciest chefs on television. The queen of food porn, Nigella Lawson, shares her emotional connection to food and why she's not a fan of clean eating. Her feel-good dishes coming up. We finally answer the biggest question of all time. The 5-second rule. Is it ever okay to eat food that's fallen on the floor? See what our experiment uncovered.
That's terrible looking.
Plus, this is what 61 looks like. Christy Brinkley's secrets and shortcuts to looking great.
This is foolproof.
All new Oz. That's coming up tomorrow.
We're back with Leah. So, if Tom Cruise watches this interview, which he's probably not allowed to.
He's not allowed to.
What would you say to him?
You know, I understand Tom believes he's doing really great things for the world. Like, I know Tom's heart is in the right place. Like, he really believes that he's changing the world. And so for that, it's very hard to have any kind of ill, you know what I mean? Like, yes, there are things that happened that greatly hurt me and my family, and it was because of him. And it started the ball rolling, right? So I look at him as a blessing in disguise for me, because I would not have now had those things not happened. And he can't speak to me. I mean, that is the truth. If I saw him right now, I wouldn't want to put him in an awkward position where he had to turn his back to me, so I would probably keep my distance. But again, I don't think he thinks he's doing bad things.
Let me shift gears.
Sure.
You've done so many things in your life. And like a lot of people, you've had...
I got fat. That's what you're trying to say?
Yes.
Yeah.
Just like
This
that.
is true.
What a troublemaker you are.
This is true. I am.
You write about gaining 80 pounds.
Yes.
You're tiny now.
Well, no, here's the thing. I was always kind of small. I love that picture. I thought I looked so skinny. So here's the problem is, you know, because you're an actress, you know, you have to be like emaciated to look normal, you know, on camera. But, you know, because I'm on television, it's like if you gain 10 pounds, people start carrying on. But it was funny because I was on King of Queens when I got pregnant, right? And Kevin was like, this is great. This is the first time I'm seen as the skinny one on the show. And like Deborah Messing, Will and Grace was on at the same time, right? At this time, and like Deborah, you know, is tiny, right? And they gave her a book to carry around on set, like to hide her pregnancy. And me, they like put, you know, couch in front of, you know, they didn't have like a big enough purse, you know, because Deborah, they just give her like a little bag, you know, they're like, oh, carry like a tote bag, Deborah, you know, and you couldn't tell she was pregnant. Me, I was like, nah, nah. And I was eating, it was no surprise. Doctor, I was like, I went to see my doctor, and he goes, you've gained all the weight for your whole pregnancy. I mean, and I was only like in my 4th month. And I would go, like, I was like eating everything. It was like, to me, it wasn't me. I would blame the baby. You know, she wants 2 Big Macs. I don't want 2 Big Macs.
No.
I don't even eat this stuff. But I just use it as an excuse, you know, French toast and scrambled eggs and bacon, and I was in heaven. And the doctor was saying, you're going to regret this. It's going to be hard for you to get it off. And
So
I was
how
like,
did you?
Well, it took a while.
Yeah.
Apparently, he did know what he was talking about. He is a real doctor. It took a lot of work. You know, unfortunately, it is what everybody says. You know, you can't have those rises and falls in your metabolism. You have to eat small meals. It usually has to be something sucky like protein.
Ugh.
You know, you wish it was like, eat a bowl of pasta. But it is. It's eating small, good meals throughout the day and exercise. And it was not easy. But yes, that's basically what you have to do.
Thank you for being a troublemaker.
I thought you were going to ask me to marry you.
It's too late, I did that already. Leah's book is called Troublemaker, because she's once surviving Hollywood and Scientology. It's available everywhere. Right now, it's a fabulous
Sorry, I'll get
read.
into your shot.
No, you weren't my shot at all. There she is. Now she's in my shot. And what are we doing? We're going to be right back.
Later, tired of the same nightly side dishes? Shake up your weekly routine with new recipes when you're out of ideas. Provocative alternatives to turn your everyday sides
Carrots, you can use beets, you can use whatever you want.
into something special. Coming up.
I wouldn't exactly call my next guest a troublemaker, but I would say she's one of the sauciest chefs on TV today. In fact, she's even been nicknamed the queen of food porn. Please come on out, Nigella Lawson. The honor is mine.
I'm so thrilled.
I'm thrilled to have you come join us. So you're English.
I believe I am.
So the words you
You'd
picked
never
up,
tell, though.
You could never tell, though. Now, you're a wonderful cook on television, a chef that makes wonderful dishes. You have cookbooks, but you don't call yourself either of those things. You like to call yourself a home chef.
Home cook.
Home cook?
I'm not a chef of any sort. I mean, I'm not really a cook in the sense that, well, I am a cook in the sense that I cook every day and I love food, but I'm not trained. I mean, I've never had any official training. I lurched into this by mistake. And as so many important things in life, you know, you don't plan them and they happen. But I love food, and I felt when I started, what I felt was that it was not right that food had been taken over completely by professional chefs. Great that they are, and you know, I admire them, because actually real food is the food we make at home and the food we remember from our grandparents and the food that we eat in our friends' houses.
There's a sacredness to it.
And that to me is not lesser cooking, that's real cooking. And so I felt I wanted to defend the position of the home cook. You know, when people say, oh, I'm just a home cook, I say, don't say just. It's not just. A home cook is an important person.
We're going to teach the home cooks today with some of your little tidbits of wisdom. Clean eating is a phrase that's gotten very popular, obviously meaning that you're exchanging healthy foods in place of all the processed junk out there that a lot of folks are sort of addicted to. But I don't think you like that phrase.
I don't like that phrase, but obviously I like real food, not junk food. Yeah. But what I think is that in the phrase clean eating, to me, there is an implication that other forms of eating are dirty and shameful. And I think there's something really dangerous about this sort of food shaming. You just have to say, we all know, if you say, I'm never eating cake again, all you can think about is cake. I've got a lot of girlfriends who always say, no, I don't eat cake, or no dessert for me. And, you know, I have a slice. And then as I'm walking away, like maybe making some tea, they've been leaning forward with a fork and they're scraping, and they've eaten more cake than me.
Yeah.
You know?
Come on over here. You have a very emotional way of describing food, even the way you protect food by calling it something that a home cook does, or that it's not about cleaning is important.
And it's about yourself and the things you love and the things that give you pleasure, and it's important.
So I'm going to pick a couple things from your new cookbook. Yeah. These are actually foods that you call the breathe foods. Why is that?
Because it buys me breathing space. They're foods that you cook slowly, either in a low oven or in a crock pot. And I feel it buys you breathing space, and that's important in life. And actually, if you say to someone, oh, this takes 4 hours, they go, I'm not going to do that. But it takes 2 minutes to prepare, and the 4 hours you can be lying on your sofa reading.
Show me how you make it.
Okay, it's this difficult. I'm going to put some chicken thighs. Yeah, come on. Yes, proper hunter with your fork. Onions, chickpeas, pitted olives.
I notice you use olives a lot, which is
yeah, I love olives. These are preserved lemons, but if you can't get those, then just use lemon zest and some lemon juice. Chicken broth. Look at the beautiful colours. You see, again, you feel happy looking at this beauty.
I feel happy knowing I'm not making it. I just can sit there and watch it
So I've got some ground ginger, cinnamon sticks, cumin seeds. That'll remind you of being in Morocco.
Yes, it will, for sure.
Saffron to make it even more beautiful and golden. Some pepper. A bit of salt. You can always salt later.
And then just...
lid on.
That's it?
Yes.
And you're done.
4 hours. So how hard is that?
Okay, what about the parsley?
That's not afterwards.
Afterwards. All right. So it comes out looking like this.
So yes, I take the chicken out, I let it stand, and then I take the skin out and the bones, and I put it all back, and then there it is in a bowl. I'll get back to the bowl with some cilantro.
It's cilantro.
Cilantro. And if you wanted rice or whatever you want underneath, but I'm very happy to have it like that.
So we talked about this Moroccan stew. I read your work. I watch you all the time, all over the darn planet.
Sorry.
But there's one issue that I don't understand about you. No matter what you do, you still have problems with these chopsticks.
I think I'm not very dexterous. You're going to have to teach me.
Let me see.
No, I can't. I have to go like this.
Oh, my goodness. I bought the rice for you. All right. Everything else tastes so good, you don't have to worry about it. When we come back, Nigella is showing you how to make 3 unique sides that will wow your family. I mean, wow, they're fantastic. Be right back.
later. Have you been using Antiperspirant all wrong? The best way to apply it to keep you dry.
The 5-second rule. Is it ever okay to eat food that's fallen on the floor? Plus, Christy Brinkley's secrets and shortcuts to looking great. All new Oz.
That's coming up tomorrow.
We are back with Nigella Lawson. She's about to show you how to wow your family and friends with some new weekday side dishes when you're completely out of ideas and have nothing left to give. So we're going to start with something that is absolutely your new love, from what I understand, and it will become everyone's new love as well. It's pickled foods.
I love pickling, and actually, though, I do a quick pickle. I don't do things that take hours and hours and that much. So next I'm going to be into fermented foods, very good for you. But I think pickles help you digest your meal.
So if you let me julienne these carrots.
Be careful, because I know your hands are precious.
So you notice my little technique here I just learned 10 minutes ago. Cut the bottom, flatten it like this. You don't cut your fingers off. All surgeons know this, by the way.
It's quite useful. So actually, a restaurant run by surgeons would be fabulous.
Oh, please.
Anyway, I'm just making the pickling liquid. So that's water and vinegar. While you're doing that, some salt. Mustard seeds.
I'm kidding.
Mustard seeds.
Just
Look, we're all
kidding.
getting tense now.
Yes, exactly. You watch me cut right.
I'm going to do some
I won't
fennel
julienne anymore.
seeds. Okay.
I julienne sideways by mistake, so they're
no,
short.
that's fine. Don't put it in my pickle liquid, please.
Don't.
No, you can add to the bowl if you want.
Oh, yes, I did these before the show in preparation for you.
I was very impressed. Anyway, cardamom. Love the smell of cardamom. Bay leaves and honey. So this just comes to the boil, thank you. This just comes to the boil. And then pour over.
Oh, pour it here.
I pour it over here because it gets cool faster. The minute it's cool,
Yep.
put it in the fridge for an hour, and then you're ready to eat it. It's not like one of those pickles you have to...
Oh, we don't have to put it in one of these mason jars?
I keep it in those because they're so pretty.
They are pretty. All right.
And they are lovely. And I've got a special one for you.
What's that?
Because you're a man who likes a bit of heat, I hear.
Do I like heat? I have very sensitive taste buds. Are those hot peppers?
They're pickled peppers.
Pickled peppers? They have tongue twisters around that.
I learned these when I was in Thailand, and these are actually, it's not a recipe, it's so simple. This is just rice, vinegar, and peppers.
How hot are these?
Hot. Well, if you knock the seeds out,
Here, who likes hot foods?
You really need something to eat them with. Don't touch your eyes now, but now you've touched them.
They're okay? I'm going to try them.
You don't wear lenses, do you?
Oh, are you kidding me?
Don't take your lenses out with that hand.
That's really hot.
But I had a small one.
Oh, gosh. Oh, my eyes are watering.
Don't
one's
take
gonna
your
eat that.
lenses out now with that hand.
Don't forget about her. I'm dying over here.
So sorry.
She's got a friend over there. All right, listen. Before you leave, this is we're gonna make an alternative to mashed potatoes. It's a pasta puree. We're gonna put this on the web. We have one more recipe putting on the web as well. For all you guys, just go to DrOz.com. But especially what I want you to be able to do is look at her book, which is absolutely spectacular. Look at that beautiful picture of her, and for good reason. the feel good food, because you made us feel good today. Thank you very much. Love having you here. Next, guess what? We're gonna use food on your hair. That's next.
What you need to make this conditioner is 1 avocado. You're gonna mash it up. Make sure that it's really smooth. Apply some of your favorite conditioner. And you're gonna wanna make sure you get it thoroughly from root to tip. Frizz happens when our hair actually absorbs atmospheric moisture. Our strands swell, and that's where you get that rough appearance from. Avocado is actually supposed to block that from happening because it's full of fatty acids that protects the strands. This will allow your hair to soak up all the goodness from the avocado, allow it to penetrate the strands.
Definitely working. It definitely feels good, looks good.
Awesome, so I'm assuming that we can both agree that the avocado for defrizzing hair is a fix.
The search is on. We're looking for a nurse to join our core team of experts to provide wisdom, expert commentary, and advice. If you'd like to nominate yourself or a nurse who's made a difference in your life, go to DrOz.com and click on #NurseSearch.
This November, we're taking your health to the next level.
I don't think anything's impossible.
It's a month of game changers. Take your health to the next level. Watch the Dr. Oz Show.
Today we've been talking about all kinds of trouble. Now, one of my personal problems is sweat. I know I'm not alone with this problem. Here I am. I've got all that stuff around my neck just from carrying a watermelon and some corn. This is someone.
Flowers?
They're flowers. No, we want flowers. They're corn.
Gotcha.
Now, this young lady took a picture. She looks like she had a Casper the Ghost sign there. See, it's like almost a haunted sweat pattern. You see that, Jenna?
I'm disturbed by it, mildly disturbed by the fact that you're now making symbols and fun caricatures out of the sweat that's on your shirt. But go her.
Actually, my favorite one. This is, look at the audience. That's a question mark or it's E.T. I'm not sure which.
Well, yeah, every woman knows that one. We don't need to go into details, but we all know where we sweat and why. Trust me.
All right, Jenna, you're a big fitness expert. Why is it we sweat so much?
We build up energy. We get our body temperature up when we move around a lot. And as we talked about, your sweat glands uncouple and you start to sweat. We move around. That's just what we do.
So I've learned a little bit about this, and I figured something out about antiperspirants. It turns out we were applying them all wrong. Listen carefully, truly, applying them the wrong way.
Okay.
I've been doing it my whole life. The best time to apply antiperspirants is at night. Here's why. Come over here.
All right.
We all tend, normally, sun's up, right, bright hour, you're out there expending energy, as you said.
Running, we're getting hot.
And you've got this dam that you want to put there, but it's not there because you have water gushing out. The dam can't close it. The antiperspirant fails, and the sweat comes right through as this water pours out.
Nobody knows this woman. Who is this woman that's sweating dams?
We purposely protected her, concealed her identity. Now, let's go back. At nighttime, sun goes down, moon comes up, you sweat less, right? You're sleeping. Hopefully, you're sweating less. And now, because you have less sweat dribbling out, when you put the antiperspirant on, the damming function is real. It works. It shuts things off. And then when you get up in the morning, it's still there. It's a perfect protection for you. So again, if you're doing it the right way, you apply the antiperspirant at night. If you want to shower in the morning, which many of us do, just use one of those water-resistant antiperspirants, and then you'll be there. Now, have you ever heard of this?
So, two things. One, so disturbed by this woman who can freely walk around with her arms up in the air like this with water that has been gushing out of her arms all day and with firewood that's now plugging it up. But number two, all honesty, kid you not, I've been doing this since college and have been made fun of since college. I work out at night, I take a shower, I put on deodorant. People think I'm crazy. They think, oh, you should go to sleep and let everything just air out. I've been using deodorant. Turns out 20 years later, I've been right. So 20 years from now, all the crazy things that I'm doing now, people are going to see that I'm finally right about it. And it works for me. Thank you. Awesome.
So just to reinforce what Jennifer's been doing her whole life, you're going to apply your antiperspirants at night. It's one less thing you've got to do in the morning when you rush around the house. If you do that all, you'll be happier and healthy. And remember, it starts at home. We'll see you next time.